What's going on, everyone? From LowKick MMA, my name is Danny Podolsky. I'm joined with Caio Bigfoot Machado. He is set to make his UFC debut after earning a contract on the Contender Series this weekend, November 18th, when he takes on Mick Parkin. Caio, thank you so much for taking the time.
Hey Dave, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited for this fight, man. Can't wait. Finally there.
And just first off, how's training been going? How this fight come together?
Training's been good. It's been a lot of more work. I'm sure I since before the contender, but like for the last year, I've been putting a little bit more effort, a little bit more time and energy on just fighting and just training. So it's been good. It's been a lot of work overall the toughest camp of my life. I try to put extra every day, but it's gonna work out very well. I think the result of everything gonna show up next week for sure.
So, 8 days out from your fight, when do you leave for Vegas?
I'm leaving on Tuesday Tuesday on the 14th.
Got it, got it. And then, looking at this matchup, have you gotten to watch the footage on Mick Parkin? What stands out to you and what gives you the advantage over him?
So I there's not much footage in pre contender series, so I got to watch his last two fights. What's not a lot, but it's kind of good because I got to see what's most recent. He's a good guy. He moves pretty well, especially being a heavyweight. We know like a lot of guys are not good movers. They just sit and wait for to throw one punch. So he has a good footwork, good head movement, show a lot of combinations. Overall, I feel there's not much power behind it, so that's where I'm gonna see my advantage going on. I see that I can keep up with the pace, but I can show more power with that. And I would love to see a little bit more of his wrestling and grappling. So I think the ground might be an advantage for me. Is overall in his record, he doesn't stay much there. Whenever he go, even when he got a submission of the Contender Series, was more because his opponent was sloppy there than he actually worked for the position. So I'm excited to test him out down there and see how the fight goes if we end up in the ground.
So I don't know if this is something you pay attention to, but you guys are both Contender Series alumni, and yet you're a massive underdog for this fight. Is that something that you've seen, and is that something that kind of motivates you at all, or do you not pay attention to it?
Uh, I don't really care about it. Like I see a little bit, but I'm being an underdog my entire fight. Of my 10 fights, I'd be underdog for 8 or 9. So I usually prove people wrong. Uh, I have awkward style. I don't not me mugging people. I'm just like smiling and being a nice guy. People think I can put a fight, but when it's go time, I actually get the job done.
You're headed back to the Apex where you fought your last time. Is that place starting to feel like you have some familiarity there, or in the long run, are you hoping to get back in front of fans?
I live for the fans. Like the Apex gave me a lot of fights through the pandemic fights when the places were closing out, and even on the original scene, we had to do everything with very small capacity or no crowd at all. So had that kind of energy. What I'm not a big fan, like the Apex is nice. It's Vegas, it has all this structure, but I would love to fight in front of the crowd and get a big arena. So I think with a good fight on Saturday and probably a knockout or submission, next one will definitely be in front of a crowd.
I gotta ask because you're originally from Sao Paulo, and the UFC just went there last weekend. Was that card you were trying to get on?
Yes. So uh, overall, pretty much, they booked me in between the Brazil card and the Toronto card, so I'm not being able to fight either in Brazil or Canada. Like I still would be able to turn around, but a little bit less than 2 months. It's a very short turnaround to be in Toronto, and still like it's right now I don't have any pool. It's not my decision at the end of the day, but I'm here to show up no matter what and no matter where. So I'm just gonna do the same thing I would do if we were in São Paulo, in Toronto, in the back alley across the street. I'm here to fight. I'm here to bring the W.
Well, fair enough. I respect the mindset of take the fight wherever it comes. However, I do want to ask if you're able to, get out of this fight unscathed, are you hoping for a quick turnaround to get on that Toronto card in January?
It's hard to tell. It really depends. If I have no injuries, like if I go there, McGregor Aldo and drop him with 13 seconds, why not? I'll be ready to fight. No injuries, no soreness. But being a heavyweight, that's usually not what happened. Even from throwing, like I hurt myself from kicking and punching the guy last fight on the Contender. So that's something that might happen. That's gonna probably happen. Win or lose, I should be sore. But yeah, like fighting Canada or fighting Brazil, fighting Canada would be very fun actually.
So, how do you feel about like you're originally from Brazil? How do you feel about the current state of Brazilian MMA, especially coming off of last week when there's a lot of Brazilian MMA talent that got highlighted?
It's definitely like a change of generation and guard on Brazilian MMA. We got a like the golden age of Brazilian MMA with the Nogueira brothers, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, Belfort, all those guys, and then we are having a second win with Watan, I forgot the 125 now. Okay, now. Figueredo, like all those guys. There's a second generation, and there's new guys coming. I still think Jailton that fought last week. He's a good guy. He's a guy that's definitely on the top five, top three on the heavyweight division. If you take off Stephen Jones, uh, you have Borralho is a good guy. Both of both brothers. There's a good generation come. There's a lot of good fighters coming up from Brazil, and we'll be like we produce too much. It's like soccer. Even if it's not the best generation, we always gonna have fighters fighting for titles here and there.
Fair enough. So for you, you're originally from Sao Paulo. You train in Canada, Vancouver. When did you make that move?
So just quick adjustment. I'm technically from Presidente Prudente, that's on the state of São Paulo.
Okay.
But anyways, I moved to US when I moved to Vancouver. I moved 2015, about 9 years ago, if you want, 8, 9 years ago.
And so you're training at, a smaller gym in Vancouver. Who have been your main training partners, and how do you feel like that move overall for your career has helped you?
So I like Vancouver for just as an environment for training. I think right now, from where I was to here, the biggest difference I have there's different people to pull out from the city. It's a bigger city. Also, I have a great connection with my team and my coach, especially my head coach Chris Franco. He's has so much knowledge of the sport, so helps a lot. My main training partners are Terrence Jefferson and Jaden Martin. They work with me either FKP MMA or Gibson MMA. We both are 205ers. So right now I don't have anyone in house that works as a heavyweight, but we brought for I go to Vegas to work with Edson Lopez whenever I have the chance. We fought last year here in Vancouver. Also a former opponent of mine, Dustin Joyson, that's fighting at one championship right now. He comes here and there every time he's in town. We train. So I I'm being able to work around. I think Vancouver, beside the fact that like even being a small gym, I think most important is the knowledge that we get inside the gym, the kind of work we have inside the gym instead of having 35 guys, we keep a tighter team. I believe like I'm a 2 hour fly away from Vegas. right now it's easy to go there to get some training done. It's easy to go to Couture. It's easy to go somewhere. So sparring wise, I can get anywhere, but the knowledge, the kind of work, the kind of attention that I needed, sometimes it's hard to get on those big gyms.
Looking at your division, big title fight this weekend. Sergey Pavlovich takes on Tom Aspinall. How do you see that fight playing out?
It's interesting to see because I believe they're both good fighters. They're both definitely on the couple guys that I'm most interested in the heavyweight division right now to watch out and be aware of what's going on. And I see Aspinall, it's one of the most technical guys in the entire heavyweight division right now. I see he has a little bit of each weapon to work on. He's the guy that I think he's more technical, but probably it's just a bit. He has so much power on him. He has definitely the like knockout power. It's just gonna be interesting to see how the first round goes. I think how the first round, second round work it out. Especially if Aspinall can weather the storm, tie it up, make like a make no Aspinall, sorry, Pavlovich works out and gas a little bit. I think he's gonna have the fight easier for him on the later rounds.
Fair enough. And then the card you're fighting on, headlined by two grapplers, Brendan Allen, Paul Craig. Who do you think wins that fight?
I love Bro Craig. I think he's a 205 right now, right? Sorry,
180.
185. 185. Yeah, he went down to 185. Yeah, I think his last fight at 185 was perfect. Like he capped the power, but with a smaller frame. I think he found his division, and I think he can put a good win next Saturday.
Well, going back to you, if all goes well and you beat Mick Parkin, how busy do you anticipate being going forward? And like, how quickly do you see yourself starting to get into that picture? Maybe not in the title picture, but in the top 15 at 265.
As long as I'm healthy, I'm busy. So ideally for me, it's 3 4 fights next year. I want to, if not January, February, early March, the latest. I want to start next year fighting. Then probably like March. I want to say June, October, December. Get a full year busy on. Ideally finish the year on the top 15, top 10, and start working my way to the belt. I think that will be the perfect year for me for start on the UFC.
Fair enough. Well, Kyle, I'm wishing you the best of luck. My final question for you, November 18th, Mick Parkin, Caio Machado. Kyle, give me your official prediction.
Second one submission.
There you go. Enough said. Guys, Machado returns to the UFC Apex this weekend, November 18th. He takes on Mick Parkin. Kyle, if there are any teammates, sponsors you want to shout out, socials, go right ahead, my friend.
Of course, first, thanks to my team FKP MMA, head coach Chris Franco, and my sponsors, Happy Lager, Mutant, Go Radio Podcast, Montana's Food, nutritionist Rodolfo Zanin, one second, UFO Industries, and Pathways Immigration to support me to help me to stay in the game to be able to be full-time fighting. And whoever is interested to check a little bit more on me, my Instagram is at Bigfoot Machado underscore MMA. That's my main social media. My Instagram, my Twitter is at Bigfoot Machado. Not as active over there, mostly like fighting stuff, but that's it. And next week, I'm definitely there to scrap and put on a show.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, I'm wishing you the best of luck. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.